first round pick. Hey, throw that list away, all right?
Why are we around?
Yo, welcome to the show. It's a Chiefs Blitz night. Breaking down the plays, keeping everything tight. From my homes to the defense, we give you the scoop. Real talk, real stats, we the ultimate troop. This ain't no game, it's our passion on display.
The baby
Chiefs
himself.
Blitz podcast, real fans unite. Every touchdown scored, reignite the night. From tailgate chatter to post-game debate, we love our Chiefs, yes, never too late.
I would even bring MVS back in the middle of the season.
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar, sponsored by ChiefsBlitz.com, presented by UnderdogFantasy.com. Here's your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
There we are. Welcome back to the next edition of Four Guys in a Bar, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, your number one source for Chiefs news, information, and of course, the amazing podcast. I'm your host, Nick Athan, along with Mr. Hense Todd, my partner extraordinaire, producer of this mega event that happens every Monday and Wednesday and Friday, usually around 1:30, a little late today. What's up, buddy? How are you, Hense?
I'm doing great. It was a busy weekend.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, a long weekend for me. But we had the Royals with Sporting Kansas City, current. Then I had Jordan Harrison yesterday. And now here on Monday with you guys. So let's get this show on the road. So with that said, guys, let's hear from our sponsors, Underdog. Baseball is back.
That's right. Baseball is back on Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you cash in today. You can play the pick'em game. It's very similar to what you did with the NFL where you're doing the Chiefs stuff. Now it's all about baseball, and especially the Royals. You can go higher or lower. It's really simple to use. Their app is amazing. You just choose your entry fee. You decide what you want to play, and you just see the winnings coming if you know what you're doing. So take a swing today and make sure that you sign up for Underdog Fantasy, and they're going to give you a meatball right off the gamut, Bobby Witt Jr. special. So start with a W for your first entry and new customers. Make sure you use the code Chiefs Blitz.
That is right. UnderdogFantasy.com is your source. Make sure. I know I should have worn my shirt today. Dang it. Lou, I got to send you yours. UnderdogFantasy.com. Right now, you play 5, get $50 in bonus money when you make sure you log in for the first time. Use the promo code Chiefs Blitz. It's amazing. You know, they've got a great game out there like for baseball that you had with the NFL. Listen, this is a year-round process, people. So you can play this game 365 days a year, and I tend to play a lot of those days. So I'm still up, so that's a good sign.
What's going on, gentlemen? What's going on? What's going on?
Great, and of course, Lou Montagna as well.
Yes,
joining
we're
us
here.
We're
here.
here. Hey, special shout out to the early guys: Ruben, DeCruz, Kenny St. Clair,
King Mo,
riding the board. Robert Abbott's out there. King Mo's here as well.
You're not first, you're last.
And Demetrio.
You're not first, you're last. I think Mo got jokes. He said, "Why can you put Janetti at 5?" He's not on my top board, man. He's too damn small for me. He's not somebody I would take top in my top draft order. So, I'm cool on Janetti, man. He's too small for me, man. He's too small.
It's more like a what you call a Barry Sanders. You know, a lot of people, compared him to coming right after that. So I'm just
if your wide receiver, your top 5 wideouts were any indication, this running back crew is going to be very good, man. I can't wait to see him.
So with that said, man, let's get we got it was a heck of a weekend. I thought we would have the 6-pack today because I wore what happened over the weekend with
mock draft Monday, man. Come on.
I know the college basketball. So what y'all thought about that? The final 2 teams left, and the girls, South Carolina, was it South Carolina that lost? The tough ball.
To UConn, yes. UConn back on top. Gino Auriemma's 12th national championship since 1995. which is just incredible. I mean, years from now, I think they'll be talking about Ariema with like Coach Wooden, because it's just
they
like
should already be talking about him like that.
Well, no, I mean, as far as just looking at the championships, right? Just like people like maybe if they never saw him, it would be like, oh my God, how did they win so many championships? But yesterday, I just some friends texting back and forth, and it was just quite simple. UConn had the 3 best players on the court, right? And I don't think it was close. Right. And so that was pretty exciting to see. On the men's side, in terms of the Final Four, it looked like we were headed to kind of like the matchup that if you were, chalk, it was going to be Duke and Florida. And then Duke kind of imploded, which, if you're not used to being in close games, which it didn't seem like they really had many of them this year. Once you got to a certain point in the season, it seemed like they were just crushing everyone.
Yep. That
they kind of wilted under the pressure. I mean, the freshmen are great. Maybe just that lack of experience kind of cost them down the stretch. But Houston, just a suffocating type team, kind of a football mentality. If you remember the old Detroit Pistons, that's kind of my comp to them. So we'll see. Should be interesting tonight. Florida's hitting on all cylinders. They look like every bit the team that we expected coming through, starting from the beginning of the tournament.
Yeah, I'm not surprised with Houston. I mean, they had a comeback against Kansas. They were down 7 points with 17 seconds to go, and they tied the game and won it in overtime. Something crazy like that.
So Houston kicked Kansas' ass. Basically.
They kicked Kansas' ass. I mean, I think for me,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Houston and Florida are the bet. It's whoever hits the threes. That's
honestly, college tournaments is always about the threes for real. It's like good ball movement.
But these two teams in particular, that's how they got here.
Threes.
And they have good defense. They've got a lot of energy. I mean, I love Calvin Sampson. I mean, I think he's a terrific
good
coach.
Ball movement and hitting
he's bounced
threes
all over the place. He's found a home in Houston.
He's an excellent coach, man. I met him. Like he remembers your name when you come back in there and be like, I'm surprised that, coming back into the, media days when they come back, to the Big 12 media days and they come down here and he'd be like, what's up, Todd? Or, yeah, he remember your name and everything. It's crazy. But I've been rooting for him, because Master P's son is on there. If you don't know who Master P is,
what's his son's name?
I think it's Mamelo or Mero, something like that. Some around there.
Mero Miller is it Mero Miller?
I think it's something like that. But I'm just saying, like I just
know it's Master P's son. It's Master P's son.
I was sitting there.
No name, no number. We know he's on.
You know it's Master P's son.
I just know he's on. I know I was standing in the stands, behind a basketball court watching them play. Was when they won the Big 12 championship here in Kansas City, and I was, standing there. I was looked over. I was like, oh shoot, Master P standing right here. I'm like, oh, it's crazy. But again, Houston is, is that a surprise team. A lot of people didn't think they would have a good year this year, but they surprised a lot of people, from what they did.
Number one seed.
Yeah, there's number one seed this year, Lou.
He said, yeah, number one seed, man. I mean, I was shocked me.
Lou this year.
Number one seed. I don't know.
Like a lot of people that had everybody
it didn't surprise the committee. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it did surprise the big dogs, man, but surprised everybody else.
Everybody thought Kansas would be good, and K-State was pretty good coming off the ranks.
When you say everybody, you mean Nick.
I mean, Kansas has always been a good team in the March Madness. They've always been a decent team.
Yeah, Well, yeah. I mean, historically good. Absolutely.
Just one of the best.
A crappy year.
2
years in a row, really bad.
Yeah, damn. So there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams this year. Had a meltdown this year. Hey, but I ain't gonna say no names or no teams, man. You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. I mean, listen. At least we were treated with the Final Four were the 4 best teams in the country.
Yeah,
these are the teams that were the most consistent. All year long, played the best under pressure, dominated their opponents at times, were lucky in other times, learned how to win.
It reminds me of another team that dominated all year and then you got to the big dance, man, and we had a meltdown, man. But hey, it is what it is, man. This is a new beginning. A new beginning, guys. So
speaking of Kansas, man, they got some star players on their on their bench, and I thought they should have been playing all year, you know what I mean? But
Well,
I don't know what they're doing.
Lucky. Flory decided to come back. They've got the number one recruit in Darren Peterson, who is a lot of comparisons to. I hate to say the word LeBron.
Somebody comment section says Dre dissing the Chiefs. I never said anything about dissing the Chiefs. I said another team that had a meltdown this year. Yeah. I didn't say the Chiefs.
Whatever.
So who did you mean?
The Chiefs avoided a meltdown.
What did you mean?
If the shoe fit, wear. The shoe fit, wear it.
Who did you mean?
Fit, wear it. I don't know.
Simple question.
The shoe fit, wear it. I don't know.
It's a simple question. Who did you mean?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm just saying.
I could have sworn it came for it. The sound came from the general area of your box, so I assume you said it.
Hey Lou, who was your team coming out this year? You know what I mean? Who was you rooting for in the Final Four? And I mean a Big 12.
I just thought at the beginning of the tournament, I just thought Florida and Duke were the two best teams. Now whether they get there or not, I mean, it seemed like they were heading that way, and they just kind of fell apart. I just think the way Florida's playing, the guard play, everything else. Now Houston, if Houston can get the pace of play to their game. In other words, they want to play the game in the 60s and 70s. If Florida can get it to a point where the game is going to be in the 80s, I think then they have a much better chance to win the game. And Houston, if the pace of play is much slower.
Right.
So, I didn't really have a team like at the beginning of the year. This team's going to be great. I really didn't pay much attention to college basketball, quite frankly, till after, around the football NFL playoff time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I thought Florida, this is a really good team.
It's all right.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, let's get right into the mock draft. I know a lot of people was, ready for they sent their picks in, their boards in. Before we get in,
I know I'm ready.
Some people said,
okay.
So let's get right to the official mock draft of the Chiefs Blitzers. The Chiefs Blitz fans chose these people amongst a poll that
let's dive into it.
Let's do it.
If they chose these people, but again, I wasn't one of them. But go ahead and read if you can. They got Josh Simmons going to number 1 with the Kansas City Chiefs. They got Jenkins from Iowa State. They got Jalen Royals, Jalen Royals, Deion Walker, and Elijah Roberts. You know what I mean? Some of these guys that are going there for the Kansas City Chiefs. It seems like a mango list, but I don't really know. I don't really know.
He certainly did manipulate it, because I think you had a choice of 4 guys in each of his thing, and I'm assuming he did it by which rounds they would go.
Yeah,
but I think he put his finger on the scales.
It's all good.
You can tell. You can tell. He did some due diligence on this one. He did some work on this one.
Operates the same way the cube does.
But the bottom line, I mean, is really, they get a consensus. That's the way you got to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. So what y'all grade this list for the Chiefs Blitzer? I give it a B+.
I'll
give it 3 mangoes.
I'm giving it 3. I'm gonna give it 3.5 mangoes. There you go.
3 mangoes.
I give it 5 mangoes. I like the board.
Hold on, boy. What's the grade scale though? Shit,
5 is enough.
Okay, I'll give it
5.
Okay. I'll give it an A. I'll give it an A for the solid. They fix every need. They got offensive tackle, running back, wide receiver, defensive tackle. And I like Walker. If his back is fixed and if he's fine there, then that'll be a steal next to Chris Jones. And the running back, I like him. I like him as well.
Elijah Roberts is a good one too, because that's depth right there. That's good depth for the Chiefs. I like Elijah Roberts. I like Simmons. I like they went running back. He went running back in the second. He really did some due diligence on this one, man. So big ups, Mango. Big up, or should I say Chiefs Blitzers? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's pretty good.
So what you have on your list today, Lou? What you have? Who you had going? Oh, you have a board that haven't went in.
Let's go. Throw it up there. I'm trying to change it up a little bit every one, and then maybe the last one I'll get a little bit more specific as far as who the Chiefs should definitely take. But Kenneth Grant, I believe I had him as the 66th pick last time. I don't think he would last that long. So I got him here going in the first. Very athletic, great hands, 6'4", 330. I mean, that real stout nose tackle, but he's got some movement to him too. So you can play him up and down the line. So I think the Chiefs would like that. Needs to be more consistent. I mean, he's not a perfect player, but at Michigan, he was regarded right alongside Mason Graham. But here you're able to get him at pick 31. Travion Henderson, I've talked about him ad nauseum. So I'm really not changing it up much at all. So I lied. Okay, so in the third round, I'm going with Braden Swinson. Now, this is a guy that hasn't come up very much for the Chiefs. Looking at him as an edge rusher, they would really have to project this because I think maybe he might be a little bit better a 3-4 outside linebacker. Can he put his hand in the ground, play defensive end? That's going to be a Spags and Joe Cullen question. But he was second team all SEC, transferred from Oregon, 13 TFLs, 8.5 sacks. Like I said, great punch, agility, speed. The concern is late bloomer. Can he put his hand in the dirt and play 4-3 defensive end? So that's a question mark for the Chiefs there. We'll see. But I think he's got all the characteristics to be drafted that high. Next, I got a receiver that I don't think we've talked about much here, but I think he would fit in at this pick in the late fourth round. Torrey Horton from Colorado State. He transferred from Nevada. His first team Mountain West in 23. He got injured this year, only played 6 games, but he was a team captain as a transfer, right? So, but very loose, fluid, stop and start ability. Again, he would have to work with, on his blocking downfield and things. Like 6'2", 185-ish. We'll see, right? So he's not a biggest guy, but he runs 4.4. 153 was his 10 split, so he can get going pretty quickly. So I thought he might be a nice pick in the fourth. Fifth, I think I've taken Charles Grant here a couple of times. I don't know that he's going to last this long, but again, the William and Mary piece would be I think one of the only knocks against him, but he just dominated the FCS level, first team All-American a couple of times, had a great Senior Bowl, former wrestler, can play guard, can play tackle. So you've got that flexibility that the Chiefs like. So I think that would be a good pick there. This kid here, Tyrion Ingram Dawkins, defensive lineman from Georgia. And I think he has flexibility as well. So this is kind of like a needs Joe Cullen is what was one of my remarks. First step quickness, fluid. He's a disruptor, can do all these great things. Again, the lack of consistency. But what we've seen over the years is these guys, these defensive linemen, front seven guys from Georgia are just ridiculous. And a lot of times, because of the great rotation they have, none of them really play a bunch of snaps, right? So he's going to need some work in terms of his, again, consistency and maybe just, I guess, stamina, if you would, because I don't know that he's ever been asked to play a ton of snap. But again, all those pieces I think would fit in great with the Chiefs, and they might get a steal. He had the best in the combine. He ran 4.8, but his 10 split was the best for the defensive lineman, 169.
Interesting.
Cody Simon, I've talked about him several times. I don't know that he's going to be here. He keeps ending up here in the simulator, and I just can't quit him. He would just be the perfect, like fourth linebacker, all four special teams. Just very smart player. Like I said before, MVP of the Rose Bowl and I think the national championship game on the defensive side for Ohio State. So I really like him. And then the last one, another guy that we haven't talked about. I don't know that he's really going to be. He may not even be a drafted player. This might be like a preferred free agent, but I wanted to stick him in here. 6'2", 190, can play safety, can play corner, right? Man, I've got really good man skills, great tackler, run support, ball skills off the charts. This would be a Spag special, right? He's going to take a guy that can do many different things and figure out how he figures into the defense. And at very least, this is a Tobe guy all the way, because he would play probably all four phases. So That's it. A couple of repeats. Don't want to keep doing that, through this phase of our mock draft Mondays, but a couple of guys I just can't quit. And they're both from Ohio State, Travion Henderson and Cody Simon.
Good list. I like it. I definitely give it 4 mango. 4
on
mango
a roll,
bags.
Ruben. I can't pause. Come
Yeah,
on,
man. Yeah, man. I like Kenneth Grant. I like him. I like Henderson from Ohio. I don't know too much about what was his name, Brandon Swinson. Brandon Swinson. But I like Torrey. I like Torrey. I like Torrey from Colorado. He is nice. He's a complimentary receiver. Charles Grant is a guy I do like on the offensive line. I do like him because he's very versatile. I definitely like him, man. But again, like those are my favorite guys out your board. But I give it a 4. Give it a 4. 4 fat mangoes. Give it 4 fat mangoes.
Juicy.
Nice.
So A or B, sir? What you give it? A or B?
What's that? Me?
I give it a solid C. I give it a solid C, Lou. You did very great. A solid C this round.
Man, a solid C.
Oh no, it deserves better than that. It's definitely a B.
Solid C. It was a lot of underdogs on that list, but again, I give it a solid C minus because I feel like it could have been better. But maybe, what about you, Nick? What'd you give it?
It's definitely a B, and there's no question about it. I mean, listen, he's got players that fit the scheme, players that fit the Chiefs, and after all, that's kind of what we're looking at. I mean, I love Grant. I think he's really good. I think Henderson, is if he's there at 2. It's really weird. This round of mock drafts, there's some really great running backs available in the second round. That surprised me. I had to do mine twice just to make sure I did it right in the first place. But
that's right.
Running backs are 16, 17 guys deep in this draft. So not that they're all going to be superstars, not that they're all going to start, but there's 16 or 17 running backs you go down the line are going to be able to contribute this year, provided they go to the right team. So you can't go wrong picking a running back in the second round.
So Dre, go over Mango's list for us.
Go over Mango's list. All right, guys.
You gotta get the Coke bottles out for this, man.
Come on with it.
Luckily, I have mine written down.
Josh Simmons, injury prone ass. Josh Simmons is going. It's his number 1 guy. He come from Ohio, man. He come from a good offensive line, a good offense, I would say. I like Josh Simmons. He just banged up, man. We don't know what he is. We
don't know what he is this year.
We don't know. Isaiah Bonds, to me, that's a bow tie guy. He could be an Andy Reid guy. He's shifty. He's very fast. Not somebody I'll take in the second round. I'll tell you that much, man. But he's decent. He's quick. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna join Worthy and Hollywood Brown of that dynamic. It's fine. I get it. Princely from Ole Miss. I like Princely. It's more depth for Spax in that defensive line.
I like him.
I love it. He can get instant pressure off the edge. You kick FAU out and you put Princely in. I'm with that one. George and Princely gonna do work. Love to see that. What we got here? Turner. Don't know too much about Turner. I trust Mango's judgment on this one. I do believe Mango did some due diligence in round 3. I guess he traded back, I believe, gentlemen. He got two picks in round 3. So
no, we have 2 round. No, he didn't trade those.
He didn't trade those.
Chiefs have 2 third-round picks.
2 on my bad. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. Okay, there you go. So I don't know too much about this guy, but like I said, I trust his judgment. Running back
Turner. In terms of Turner, I think those A&M. There's 3 A&M players. It's just like enigmas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got Turner, Scorton, and Moore. And all of them have the athletic ability that you just, you recruit. They're, 5-star type recruits.
Yeah.
But they really didn't produce as much as you would have hoped at A&M. So you could hit it out of the park and get this guy, unlock these guys, and they become great pros. But that's,
that's about it.
Production
that's about
potential.
It.
So. But anyway, that's it could be a boom.
So talk to me, Lou. Jalen, what's his name? Conyers. What you think about him, Lou? You know anything about him, Jalen Conyers?
Not one of the tight. I mean, we there's so many tight ends available. I don't know in the 7th round. No, I really don't know much about him specifically. We talked about the top tight ends, and there's probably like 6 or 7 of them. I just don't remember his name. Really coming up, and I really don't know much about him at all.
God damn, he got Cone. Hey, Nick, help me out with this one, Nick. CB Cone. That's his name.
I don't know that much. The last 2 picks.
Yeah, I'm like, man,
Cone, I don't know that much about. A Stackhouse, obviously, we've talked about.
Another Georgia guy. The Blitzers had him in the 7th round as well. So that's why I say Mango kind of putting his finger on the scale.
In one of my late rounds.
Mango put his finger.
Yeah, he did. So I think for me, I would give Mango a solid C-. Because he did address, you know what I'm saying? Like he got Isaiah Bonds and he got Simmons up there.
C-.
Yeah, I mean, what is I'm addressing his board. Is my addressing is my grade, sir. So that's what I say. Nah, I give a strong productive C-. A strong productive C-.
Whatever you say, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever Nick,
if you project Simmons to be healthy, and can play to his potential, kind of like where he was before the injury.
Oh, and Princely too. I definitely.
This is going to be a pretty good draft at the top.
If those
among the first 4 or 5 picks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bond is able to fit into the offense. I mean, you got some questions, but Simmons, I think, is the key to that whole draft. If he is able to play at a high level.
Yeah.
Halfway through the year, he's taken over at left tackle. Now forget about the rest of the guys. It's already an A.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely correct.
Seriously,
3 of those 4 guys.
If that solves the left tackle for the next 10 years, that's an A draft. I don't care about the rest.
You know what's crazy though? We say that though, but those last couple picks could be the ones though. But the first 4 is solid. I'm saying you got to make sure the whole board. It's like playing bingo. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get the whole board though. The whole board. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I was just making a point about Simmons, but so
you did.
I hear you. Yeah, you got to hit on when you're paying. You're paying the quarterback. You got the defensive tackle. You're paying. You got some big contracts out there. Your guard. It's
it might be a beach board. Man. Yeah, it might be of a beach board. Beach going to give you 3 or 4 guys out of 7. It's beach. Beach gonna give me 3 out of 3 out of 7.
Give me 3 out of 4 out of 7 at start. I'm in good shape.
Well, I look at a list. I like Josh Simmons. If he's healthy, Isaiah Baum is one of my top receivers that was on my board last week. And Princely is pretty good. I like Turner. I like him and Martinez. I think that's his name. Yeah, I like him from Miami. He's pretty good running back as well. He's 6 foot, 230 some pounds.
How fast do he run?
Big physical running back. I think he was a 4.4, maybe. I may be wrong. I don't know for sure.
See, running backs are different, Bo. You gotta have elite speed players. I don't know. You said maybe. I don't know.
Not necessarily.
So with that said, I give his list. I give it a C+.
Yep.
What's that y'all acting all sweet today, bro? What's all these high grades, man? What the Nick?
C+.
Nick spreading the love to everybody.
Hey, man, I'm Mr. Positive.
C+, man. You hit it right down the
God damn, boy. I'm never gonna F on this show.
Yeah. 250
hey, listen,
right down the fairway.
If you
we're saving the knives for your list, okay? That's
good luck with that
knives. Here they come.
You get 3 starters out of any draft that contribute and make plays.
You got a good point, Nick.
It's a B anything. It's a B something.
Good point.
Yeah, at this point you would have to. I would give him like 3 mangoes, and that's assuming that Simmons.
Damn, boy, that's crazy. 3 mangoes
play by mid-season.
Well, let's get to my list. I know a lot of people waiting to see it. Maybe they waiting to see it. They hoping to see it. It's going to be me and Nick's link.
Are the jackets ready?
The jackets are ready. It's some guys that's on there. It's some guys that's on there. I couldn't believe they fell into the 2nd round. I don't know how. I didn't do anything.
I had some weird ones too.
They was there for me in the 2nd round. So I got Derek. I got him going the 1st round. For Oregon. And Deion Walker. When Walker was in Walter Nolan felt to me in the 2nd round. I said, hey, he's there. Why not go back to back, build a wall around that defensive line? Then Josh Currently, he was there in the third round. I don't know, guys. I don't know how he felt all the way in the third round. Somehow it happened. But and then I got Xavier Williams. Everybody know that's my top receiver. I said this guy will be a dog. Like Lou said, he would bang the drum to the death for him, that a guy that he likes. And this Xavier Williams is the guy I like. And Gordon, man, from Oklahoma State, I think is the best running back that's coming out this class. BJ Adams, you know what I mean? Hey, go look at this kid. He's 6'3". He's a Spags corner, shut down on the side, man. Hey, and we see what the Chiefs do with cornerbacks in the 7th round. They turn them around, get them to play well as well. Also, hey, Makai, the safety, hey, he's 6'3" too. Hey, and I got Smith, man, one of the fastest receivers that's coming out this draft from Georgia Bulldog. His speed is he went with a 4.3.6. He's standing about 6 foot. Hey, the guy is fast. Put him with Xavier Williams, Rasheed Rice, Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy,
McCole clone.
Yeah, McCole clone, man. This there is solid. You can't say it. You can't even give me an F. You can't give me a D. You gotta give it an A because it's a list that. Hey, I don't know. Maybe it was the football guys to have all these guys to fall on my list, or maybe it was my doing. I don't know, but how do you guys feel about it?
I say the first 3 picks are solid. I mean, if those guys are there at those picks, that would be like a Chiefs dream. I don't know that they could do much better than that, because all 3 of them legitimately could go at the end of the first round, and certainly at the top of the second. So if they got those 3 guys, out of the park. Yep. Obviously, you've got your 2 guys that will be in every mock draft, Savion Williams and Ollie Gordon. So we don't even talk about them. And then the bottom 3 are the bottom 3. So
why everybody's bottom 3 is like
if they got those 3 at the top, I will give you an A, Mr. Bowtie.
There you go. There you go. See what I'm saying, Bo? You eating on this one, Bo? I get you. I feel you, because the first 3, besides the 4th one, who knows what the 4th one could be? I don't know. We don't know. But the first 3, if this is it reminds me of a beach board. Now the first 3, if they're starters, absolutely A-. You get an A-, man. You kick butt. If that was the case, so I give it to you. I give you a good B+, man.
All right.
What about you, Mr. Nick? What you say?
I kind of agree. I mean, I think, if they strike a home run with those 3 picks, everybody obviously, we know what you feel about Williams, Ollie Gordon, and you can't go wrong. I mean, if those are the first 5 picks, you're talking about addressing, every area of need: defensive tackle, off tackle, wide receiver, and running back, and you get guys that they can plug in and play right away. And Nolan and Harmon, good rotation guys. You're not going to put them on the field at the same time, but you know what? If they split the snaps, and that helps Chris Jones a little bit, and they can get the pass rushing that they hope to get this season that maybe they didn't have as much of last year, then I mean, I would be jumping for joy. Who cares what they do in the 7th round? Anything there is a bonus.
True.
All right. Let's get into your list. What you got for us, Nick?
I did this twice because I really thought I was going insane.
You unveiled it before.
So I unveiled it. I decided I was going to do it anyway. So obviously, the Tyleik Williams, the defensive tackle from Ohio State, they got to get a guy in the middle. They don't have a defensive tackle that they can start right now, in my opinion, that's going to be worthy of doing what the Chiefs need to do on the defensive line. He is one of my favorite players in this draft. Amarian Hampton, somehow he slips to the end of the 2nd round. I don't know why. I don't know how. I did it twice, just thinking I was going crazy. But obviously the Chiefs, I mean, Andy Reid is running this pickup from Kansas City all the way to Green Bay in less than 9 minutes if Hampton is still available with the 63rd pick. There's no question in my mind. I love this kid. I don't think he's getting past the Broncos in the 1st round. I'd be shocked. But who knows what the Broncos are going to do. Jalen Royals, we've talked a lot about on the show, wide receiver out of Utah State. I absolutely love this kid too. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Chiefs. I think he would just be a guy that would fit in. He doesn't have to play. He doesn't have to be a superstar right away, but, he can start to ease some concerns potentially for what the Chiefs are going to lose, potentially in free agency after the season. Elijah Arroyo, I love this kid. If he's there in the third round, I probably take him.
He's my top tight end.
Yeah, everything about his game is good. He has good speed. He's got great hands. He just makes plays, and I think a year with Travis Kelce would elevate his potential quite a bit, in my opinion. Savion Jones, the defensive end from edge rusher from LSU. Again, guy, good program, good player, has the ability to get sacks, can be a disruptor. They have to find another edge rusher. I know FAU was on Kate Adams' show Up in Adams the other day and mentioned that he's really excited about this year. He thinks he has the opportunity to take and believes he's going to take that next step. And if he does, even better. But the Savion Jones, just the guy with the 133rd pick, is a great opportunty.
I think
seventh
John Harrison was asking about him earlier. So
yeah, exactly.
Go, John.
Yeah. So the seventh round, I try to just pick the best possible fits. I know the Chiefs probably won't draft 3 defensive tackles, but Simeon Barrow is really solid. I love Nazir Stackhouse. If he's there in the 7th round, I'd be shocked. And Cody Simon from Ohio State. You take an Ohio State kid. I tried to pick guys from programs that I thought would have a good ease based on the style of offense and defense they play to go from the college level to the NFL level. And so I just wanted to kind of I did this one a little differently than I normally do. Hopefully next week we can do a trade mock draft because I really like to do that.
Thinking out loud here and workshopping. Maybe we're doing a production meeting while we're doing the show, but maybe we pick different draft simulators to do. But because it certainly seems like this one, you can see how they've stacked their board. Somehow Omari and Hampton is lasting into the 2nd round. Cody Simon is always available in the 7th round. So they really don't like him much. Who is the other? Nazir Stackhouse. He's they've got him pegged in the 7th round.
He's, and what I love about Stackhouse too is that he's got, if Joe Cullen can get this guy to be mental sharp on every snap, talking about the potential of a 3rd or 4th round pick there.
Yeah, he's got all the Terry and Ingram Dawkins. Both from Georgia, same thing. And I think they do because they'll play 10 defensive linemen every game. So they just run them through. And maybe that's part of the lack of consistency that they're not playing, a lot of consecutive snaps. So maybe that's just part of it. Cullen gets his hands on these guys,
and that's perfect for the Chiefs.
They're all 4 and 5 star recruits.
So Kareem called down here and said, "Man, now you want to pick my guy. Now you looking to my guy." So Kareem calling you out, man. He said, "Now you want to go to my guy." He said, "Now he's thinking." So basically, now he's paying attention to Kareem. Kareem, hey man, listen, I feel you, Kareem. I feel you, bro. I feel you, man. I agree with you, man. I agree, man.
I said Walter Nolan, and hey. Right there in the 2nd round, I said no brainer. I take the kid.
And that's what's going to be great about this draft, guys, is because there are so many really good football players in rounds 1 through 5 that it's we're not going to be able to really pick the trends in advance until we think. But based on what we've studied, based on what the experts are saying.
No. I hear what you're saying.
When you look at the running back class, it's 17. You got a list of about 17 guys that are all going to be drafted. So, this is going to be a very interesting draft. I think someone said it best today, the top of the draft, the first 4 or 5 picks are really going to dictate everything else. But for us, for our looking at what the Chiefs' needs are, and where they're currently positioned. And I don't think these are going to be the slots that the Chiefs pick all their draft picks from. I think there's going to be a trade or two. Sure. I wouldn't rule out a trade outside of the 1st round too, which would give maybe an extra 3rd or a 4th round pick, or maybe even a 5th round pick that they don't have. So
if somebody starts falling that they didn't expect to fall,
exactly,
he'll certainly try to get himself up ahead of some teams just to make sure that he gets them. And I say he, meaning Brett Veach, or if they've got I don't know, about 12 guys all in a stack, and they're sitting there in the first round, and somebody's trying to get up to get their quarterback. Certainly a trade back into the second round and get an extra pick or two wouldn't be a bad move. So yeah, I think they're just in really, really good position. I don't, I wouldn't be panicked. I wouldn't say we have to hit this pick or die. So I think, I think it's going to be interesting all 3 days.
So Lou, what you give Nick's list?
Nick, again, if they're able to get those 2 guys in the top 2, I mean, that's, you're well on your way. I jury's out for me as far as Royals is concerned. I'm not sure if
he's as well
round pick, but Arroyo, if they go tight end and they're able to get him late in the 3rd round, I think that would be a good value as well. Jones, again, LSU. So these guys are all great athletes. You got to see if you can get the get the production out of them. And we'll go with a solid 3 mangoes here.
All right, that's a solid. That's a solid. No, that's piece of juice. Listen, all right. Honestly, though, Nick, I ain't gonna BS with you, Nick. I'm gonna give you a list a solid. I'm gonna give it a B- because everybody on this list, the top 3 or 4 guys is great. Everybody else is shitting bricks, man. It's like we don't know who they are. Y'all just. Hey, I'm gonna fill the void. You're just gonna fill the void. So let's go the top 3 or top 4. Everybody look good. The top 3.
You decide to go negative instead of
just showing me
they are okay, man. But like I stated, if they can be productive. It's all about being productive. Do you fit the scheme?
Would you forget the nonsense and put his list up there? Come on.
Sorry, gentlemen.
The knives have been sharpened.
We can trash his list. Let's go.
You can't trash what I have right now, man.
They're ready in the chat. Here we go. Hensley.
I'm giving on Nick's list a solid. I give it a solid B+ for his list. Also, I want to, before we get into that list, Dre's list, I want to ask Lou something. What you think about the Florida? Nobody's talking about the Florida State. Was it Florida Gators D tackle, 465 pounds?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That is a tough one because there's no comps, and that everybody, any
there'll be a guy to stop the tush push. Will be a guy to stop the stuff.
Is looking for a comp, right? But there isn't one. There hasn't really been anybody over 350 pounds to play at any consistent level in the NFL. They always, we got to. Now he's already lost weight since he's been at Florida, which is just insane.
So he already told. So he was bigger than that.
Do you bring him? You bring him into camp? I don't know if you use a draft pick on him. But if you have conversations with him, his people, whatever, and the decision is, and I can't think it would go the other way, you got to believe they want him to drop down at least to 400, right?
Yeah, exactly. At least,
because otherwise he's playing like maybe 4 or 5 plays a game. So yeah, it'd be an interesting project, but to use a draft pick, you really have to be certain that he's going to commit to like a weight training program.
He's a big boy. He is a big
be all in, right?
Big boy, man.
But so what you think, Nick? What you think? I think if the Chiefs draft him, probably go into the 3rd round, and they get him, if he a big guy,
third round.
Yeah, I think Wow. You get somebody that you can stop any. That's somebody that's a large man to move. Constantly.
Large. That is a big guy.
You would really have to believe that there are other teams out there that would rate him that high, right? I mean, it's not always about the player, but like kind of where he should go. I mean, it's all about getting value for the pick. So if you've got it stacked a certain way and he's nowhere near that, now you're just messing with your entire board, and you just kind of basically pissed on your scouting staff, saying that they worked all these hours, and all of a sudden you're going to come in and say, nope, we're taking this guy. So again, 7th round, they got 3 7th round picks. I could see that maybe.
So the Chiefs get him in the 1st round.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, not everybody quiet. He's a big guy, big beef, 400 pounds, man. Clogging the hole in the middle.
400-pound man.
They have 3 7th-round picks. If they are confident that he could hold up through training camp, not even make the team, if he can make it through training camp and then potentially have a chance to make the team, maybe with that last pick. But you're not going to.
He would be the perfect Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah.
He would be the perfect.
He's definitely going to apply that pocket.
You're right about that, Nick. That would be the perfect Mr. Irrelevant because never been that big. He got drafted in the NFL.
He will be the talk of the offseason
because the Chiefs need that much more attention.
They need a real man. They need a real man out there, and why not get him, man? A big clogger, man. Big.
A lot of cheeseburgers. Andy might be.
That's right. That's 2 times the beef. You hear me?
Have a bobblehead.
If that was a Hardy spokesman, it'll be him, man. He said all beef. That's all.
Extra large bobblehead.
So with that said, let's get into Dre's list, guys.
Here we go. Get him
out.
Go.
Let's get here. It is.
It won't even load.
No,
there we go. Dre's list. Guys, y'all got me, man. Y'all got me, man.
Do you have a verbal list?
the day.
Trash.
You had plenty of time to get it done. You know, you and your homework. So
the day has a name, right? It is Mock Draft Monday.
Hey, man, listen, what happened was I was so busy doing some damn due diligence, man. I was like, damn.
No.
Right. Oh, man, I know, guys. I know. I was kicking y'all list's ass, man. Everybody was waiting for the finale. It was Dre, but you got me.
It's due every Friday. All right, no more excuses.
I told you. Nick's a teacher, man. Nick's like, hey, I'm gonna give you a pass today. You need to turn your homework in. Turn your homework in.
Do we have the little dunce cap? Can you make him go sit in the corner?
There we go. Kareem said it best.
Hey, Kareem said the shit was shitty. Hey, it's all right, Kareem. It's all right, man. I saved all y'all. I saved all y'all the BS, man.
ESPN, Pro Football Sports Network, they rejected it.
So,
they did.
Okay, as the pseudo producer and director of the show, Hensley, I would say, since you're privy to the fact whether there is a Dre mock draft or not, that until there is one, we don't go to him for the opinions on the others.
Yeah, you were very crafty. You were very crafty in which you.
I actually
thought he had one done.
Everybody's putting their neck out on the line. Everybody's giving their picks or whatever, and all
taking their pride out, taking their chest out. Sometimes
you crap on all of them. And then it's time for your
C plus. I give you a C plus.
What had happened was
the dog ate my homework.
I ain't got no damn dog. I ain't got no dog.
So with that said, let's get into our, the top, I didn't ask nobody for their list, so we're just gonna go off your head. Your top
16 of them here, Hensley.
Yeah, I mean,
your top 5, just give me your top 5 running backs. I think this is everybody's list.
Go running backs. Jeez,
your top 5 running backs that you think that's going to be draftable, have draftable grades on them. That's your top 5 guy. It's an open book test, so it's not nothing that you can be judged on. It's just open book. So what you have for us, Lou? Who you going to go first? Lou, go ahead.
Sure, why not? Now these are the guys that you would think are top of the class and so forth, but like Nick has been saying all along, there's probably about 15 to 16 guys that are probably going to go between end of the first round and well into the draft, probably like through the 6th and 7th round. You're going to be seeing guys that can come in and play, and it's not unprecedented. We saw Isaiah Pacheco do it for the Chiefs, and we didn't know how deep that class was, but we're looking at this class like, oh my gosh. So typically the names that we've seen and the ones that we've seen be productive all year long, Ashton Genty, Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, and Judkins from Ohio State. Those, I think.
What about Devin Neal?
those to me are like
don't worry,
the top 4 guys, I think, in terms of how they're going to be drafted. Okay. You've got some people that really like Caleb Johnson. I think in terms of the Chiefs, I don't know if he's really going to fit. Okay. So I would say those are my top 4, but then I've got some wild cards that maybe you won't see go to like the 3rd and 4th round that I would really like to see the Chiefs pick. I really like RJ Harvey from UCF. I think he'd be outstanding with the Chiefs. He gets his just kind of from a dead stop to full speed is as fast as anybody I've seen in a long time. I've been talking about Brashard Smith from SMU since the Senior Bowl. I think he would be outstanding. Converted wide receiver, tough as nails.
I like him. He's one of my
got breakaway speed. Love him. And then Bayshul Tootin from Virginia Tech that ran 4.32. But if you really watch him, good contact balance, got the jets. I think those guys, and the list just goes on. I mean, we saw in some of these mock drafts, you saw Damian Martinez in there. You talked about Devin Neal, Dylan Sampson from Tennessee, Scadaboo, Taj Brooks, Rocket Sanders, Giddens from K-State, Ollie Gordon from Oklahoma State. And there's probably a lot more. But again, I'll give you my 5: Genty, Hampton, Henderson, Judkins. And I'm just going to throw Brashard Smith in there because he's my favorite. He'll be number 5.
Who you got for us, Coach Dre?
King Mo.
Dalen, I got Dalen. I got Dalen Thompson, Dalen Sampson, man. Dalen Sampson is a guy that I like too. He's a legit guy from Tennessee, 5'8", a good balanced runner, man. Very explosive, man. I love what he does, man. You know, he can break tackles, very sweet with his feet. Y'all want to steal that? You can. Sweet with the feet, man. That's what we're looking for in running backs with Andy Reid's offense, man. I like Scadaboo. Scadaboo is my guy, too. I love Scadaboo. Nick is really going in right now. Go ahead and unmute the guy, Nick. He's really going in. Scadaboo. I like Janetti, too. I like Janetti, man. Janetti, to me, he's a balanced guy. He's pretty fast.
Wasn't Janetti a WWE wrestler?
Yeah, he was. Shout out to Shawn Michaels, man, with the Rockers, man. Yeah,
this
man.
Kid's name is Ashton Genty.
Janetti, Genty, Chitty.
Hey, listen. I'm thinking wrestling. I'm thinking wrestling.
With the eye doctor.
Hey, what? Listen, hey, I'll tell you this. But I like Scadaboo, Jenny, if I said his name, Jenny. I do like Smith too, Lou. Smith, I do like Smith. Smith is nice. That's the guy who was on my board too. I like Smith. But again, I like Dalen Sampson. There's another guy. Trevion Henderson too is nice too. Just good balance, man. These guys can basically play the third. Can be a third down back, guys. They can be a third down back. They got good hands out the backfield. That's what I look at, especially with this Andy Reid's offense. You got to be able to catch the ball out the backfield. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, pass block.
And that's Ollie Gordon. Ollie Gordon's the best catcher that's coming out of this draft, man. You know, that's why I have him going to my number. He's my number 1 running back. I know he didn't have the yards that he had last year. But again, that offensive line was trash. Deaf and Bob, if you hear in Kansas City, Missouri. But again, I mean, hey, this kid, man, for Oklahoma, I seen him in person. Before, man. Hey, you talking about Derrick Henry? I think this kid.
No, I don't think he's that powerful.
I'm talking about he's that bigger than Derrick Henry. I think he's.
What you mean, Nick? What you mean, Nick? You mean he's not the Derrick Henry type of guy?
I don't think he runs the same way. You know, Henry's a very straight up guy and just uses that overall upper body strength
because he's like the way he drives his legs. Yeah.
I think your kid has a lot of versatility. He can do anything on the football field.
Anything.
I kind of like him to Joe Delaney a little bit. If we're going to compare Chiefs players.
Okay.
Kareem talking big shit.
I love his vision.
Right.
This is the number one thing for the Chiefs. have to have a running back with vision. They don't have a starting running back right now with enough vision to be an elite runner.
Kareem got enough vision.
What's that?
Kareem got some vision. He
Kareem
just
has
slow.
vision, but he's 30, 31 now, and he doesn't have that team speed. For a guy you need a first down or 5 yards or 4 yards, he's your guy.
Okay.
But he's not your starter. He's not going to be the starter this year.
Okay, I got you.
So the second after him, a lot of people ain't talking about him, but I like the kid. But you know what I mean? I feel like he will be a perfect fit for Andy Reid if it was all said and done. Jet and Blue from Texas. Man, the kid is fast. He's I think he's about 5'10". You know, I mean 5'10". You know, the kid is ripped. Hey, this kid is blaze. He reminds me of Jamal.
He's 5'9", 196.
196, 5'9", 196. But he reminds me of, if you see how he runs, he reminds you of Jamal Charles. Like the speed, the vision, the balance, and everything. It's like he's running through wind, and he's just like he's gliding with the wind. This kid is
run with the wind, man. Gone with the wind.
This kid is amazing
with the wind, man.
But also, a lot of people ain't talking about Trevor Etienne, his little brother from Georgia. Yep. I like him as well. A lot of people said he came in overweight, but who cares, man? The kid,
you better care.
He'll be in weight in training camp.
He can't be big at that position now.
Other than that, man, I like the both of the kids from Iowa, man. They would be a perfect
state.
Ohio State.
Two different states. We got to be careful there. There's Iowa.
Both of those.
And there's Ohio.
See, clear eye, red eye. This Lou, that's Lou. Clear eye, red eye. Gets the right choice right here.
If you're saying Iowa State, then you're thinking, well, maybe he's talking about the two receivers.
Honestly,
Ohio State, the national champions. That's a different ballgame.
But again. Those are my top five. Those two, and you know what I mean. Hey, but my favorite running back is a kid for Oklahoma State. Man, I feel like there'll be a dream come true for me and Madden if he was there for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Did you say a dream come true? What the hell it is? The hell it is, bro. No.
Yeah, I think when I see Blue, I don't know how tough he would be in pass pro, but I see more of a Jet McKinnon. If he can do the pass protection piece, then I'm all in on him because he is a burner. They could really use him out of the backfield doing different things, not necessarily going to give him the ball 10, 15 times a game, but certainly he could, he would be a weapon out of the backfield. Now, are you going to take him like in the second or third round? Probably not. Probably see him going later in the draft, but yeah, that's what we're saying. It depends on what flavor you like. There's a ton of them. I don't know if this is an anomaly. It just seems like there's so many running backs that can be draftable and actually be productive immediately. So we'll see. It should be interesting.
What about you, Nick?
Real quick, like Kareem says, don't matter. Kareem says that he said, imagine how bad Baltimore whoops Dre with Ali Gordon on KC. Listen, the dude slow as hell. He ain't gonna be whooping my ass no damn matter. No Ali Gordon slow ass.
I don't know, man. I might put some in that race.
If y'all want to see me kick Bowtie's butt, and man, y'all let me know we will set up shop. I'm gonna show you how a Bengal really put a whooping on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm just throwing it out there, guys. Just throwing it out there.
What about your list?
Somehow the running back conversation turns around as far as something about Dre's personal life.
Yeah,
hey, I don't know. I'm just saying.
All right. Well, I mean, I've read Marion Hampton, and throughout this entire process, it's amazing to me. I mean, people have Harvey ahead of him; they have Giddens ahead of him. I don't see it personally.
I don't know who those people are, Nick. Anybody that I've heard talking about him, he's closer to Genty than he is.
I know
Henderson and Judkins. So
I mean,
I hear what you're saying, and he shows up on the simulator, which you got to take him.
But even in some of the scouting reports that I've viewed over the weekend, I mean, Scattaboo is higher, Henderson is higher, Judkins is higher. Again, Harvey and Giddens. To me, Amir Hampton is the guy. He fits.
Yeah.
He's the number one best option for the Chiefs. So clearly I've got him. And again, I'm doing the best five guys I think fit the Chiefs. Marion Hampton absolutely would be that guy.
I agree with you.
Devin Neal. Not that he's going to go in the second round or third or fourth, but he just fits. He's 5'11", he's 213 pounds. He doesn't fumble. He can catch the ball. I think he's got some of the best vision that's out there in this draft. I think from a guy who understands what to do, ran a very similar offense at KU, came back a senior year to prove a point, and he did it. Obviously, Scatterbo. I love Scatterbo. Despite his lack of speed, I think he would be a perfect fit. I like Harvey a lot. I'm with Lou on this one. He definitely would be a guy that I would look at and say, okay, he falls in the second round and he's there. And of course, Hense's guy at Oklahoma State. Those would be the five guys that I think fit the best. Ollie Gordon, they would fit the best in what the scheme is for what Andy Reid wants to run offensively, and a guy that they can plug in and be a starter this year. I think any one of those guys could do it. Now, Scatterbo is interesting. Like I said, lack of speed, but he's a bulldozer. He gets yak. He can catch the ball. We've seen him throw the ball. I mean, he would be so popular, in Kansas City. But to me,
Carson Steele.
If Hampton, if the reports that are starting to come out over the weekend about Hampton are true, and that he is definitely sliding, and there's something in their game that these scouts don't look at, if he somehow falls to the Chiefs, and again, I did 2 mock drafts, 2 different places, and I got the same second round pick. So I think, to me, he's the guy that fits the best.
A lot of people read Soto Scatterbo. A lot of people say I like he just a down old school, running a little short. Like, he got a lot of girth to him, man. He's fast, man. He can do a lot, man. He remind me, it's just a bigger version of Jetty.
Yeah, well, the prize to me is going to be Devin Neal if he's available in the 3rd and 4th round.
I think he's Carson Steele.
Yeah.
Who? Talking about Jetty?
You think he is?
Talking about Scatterbo?
Cam Scatterbo.
Hell no.
There's some comparisons.
That's just crocodile bad neat, man. Nah.
Hey, you never know. He probably come back and Carson Steele probably be the starting running back. Y'all don't know.
Carson Steele is not going to be a part of nothing, bro.
You don't know. He don't know.
He fumbles. He don't know where the holes at, bro.
If they draft a back that high, right?
Yeah.
If they draft a back in like 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, more than likely Steele's.
Yeah, they're not carrying 4 running backs. There's no way.
Unless, I don't know, he somehow improves his speed, and they feel that Pacheco, they got the most out of him that they could. Right?
Do you see if your scenario comes true, and they draft Hampton in the 2nd round, do you see them trading away a guy like Isaiah Pacheco? Do you see him that not been there, and you see the writing is on the wall then, right?
I think there's 2 names to look out for potential draft additions for the Chiefs in 2025 or 2026. I think Isaiah Pacheco is one of them. I think Joshua Williams is the other one, the cornerback. And this just scuttlebutt from what I'm hearing. I think they've kind of put the screws to Pacheco and say, listen, you got to step up your game. He's working his tail off in the offseason. If they can get a 5th round pick for him, I think they would take it. Same with Joshua Williams. If they can get a 5 or a 6, I think they'd make that move, because I don't think either one of them has a long-term future in Kansas City. And with the free agent class they've got going on next year, which is going to be really hefty, guys that are starters, contributors, there's no way they're going to sign them all. They're not going to keep doing these 1-year deals. Right. They're going to have to rebuild the next phase of this football team. And I think they need more draft picks. My understanding is the goal to come away with 9, maybe 10 picks, whether it's a combination of this draft and next draft. Remember, they already got an extra 4 next year from the Bears. But to me, I love Isaiah Pacheco as a kid. I love him as a football player. I love him as a person. I love everything he's done as a 7th round pick. He was a huge reason why the Chiefs won back-to-back Super Bowls. I just don't see long-term. They need a Jamal Charles breakaway runner. And until they get that, and a guy who makes better decisions at the line of scrimmage, and it isn't like he doesn't. It's not like he can't do it. He just runs into a wall sometimes, and he's not patient. And that's what I love about Devin Neal so much. And I'll go all over, even over Hampton and his vision. Hampton was really good at with the burst of speed to get to the holes. But Neal, because the offensive line at Kansas was good, but sometimes inconsistent, he had to wait for the open slots, and he was very patient. He reminds me of Le'Veon Bell in his prime. He's got a little Marcus Allen in him too. When the Jayhawks needed 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 7, he'd get you 7 or 8 yards and get you that first down.
Marcus Allen was very patient, wasn't he? He was a very patient
Marcus Allen was the most patient running back at the line of scrimmage I've ever seen in my entire life.
Gotcha.
And I think Neal has the same thing. What's that?
Gotcha.
Is the other kid from Iowa, the other side of Iowa,
right?
We like to say he reminds me of Le'Veon Bell. I can't remember the kid's name, but the way the patient. I was watching his tape last night. The patient how he runs and stop and wait for
Caleb Johnson. Is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, Caleb Johnson. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
he's slightly ranked higher than Devin Neal at the moment.
Yeah. And also, before we close out, who was that running back that's going to be like a Jamal Charles that the Chiefs drafted, or a Larry Johnson, or somebody's of that caliber that you think that
Johnson,
odds in that draft?
Johnson was a 1st-round pick.
He was
so right. So if you're going to go a little bit late, like Jamal, they got him in the 3rd round. That was one of those Texas guys that they were just basically crapping running backs. But I mean, Priest Holmes rarely played at Texas, and
that's my
dude, what he turned into. Jamal Charles didn't play a ton until like his senior year. You saw what he. So that's the thing that you really look for. But I think the kid from Virginia Tech would probably have the best chance just because of his speed. Mm-hmm. Now he's a little bit of a fumbler. Again, that's just something coaching, high and tight. I mean, Tiki Barber had the same.
I mean, Adrian Pearson had the same situation too. AP did too,
and they were able to get that fixed. So
AP
I would say, if you wanted to compare somebody to a Jamal Charles, I think your best bet would be Bashul Tutin from Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Just real quick on Pops, I agree with everything you said, Nick. I don't know that he has really much value to the Chiefs beyond this year. We have to give him a pass. Last year he did break his leg.
I understand that, and I am
back. So I think that might have affected a little bit of his play down the stretch, but he sees the handwriting on the wall. He's a 7th-round pick. It's running back position's been fungible for the most part for most teams. We'll see. And it depends on if they, like I said, if they draft somebody in the 2nd through 4th rounds, they're going to expect that person to play a lot.
Yeah.
All those guys in that room are on notice. Nobody is safe.
No, and none of them, even Kareem Hunt coming back for a year. There's no guarantee he's going to make the roster. Listen, in my opinion, the Chiefs need to draft 2 running backs out of this draft.
So basically, we're saying about Pac, he runs right into walls and shit. Like
he doesn't have the court awareness. He doesn't have the vision to cut back when there's opportunities. I mean, listen, I watch these games over and over ad nauseum, and I'm not in the backfield. I'm not looking at guys who are 100 pounds heavier than me, but when you look at just a simple thing like just taking a pause for a half a second, cutting to your left or cutting to your right where the hole is, he left probably 400 or 500 yards on the field in potential runs. And with his speed, and he's very short. He's short strided. He's not a long strider. Jamal Charles, man, he just had that perfect. I mean, he was
Jamal Charles. I thought with Jamal Charles like 6 foot.
He was a stallion out there. The way he would run, and they just don't have
a big guy.
What's that?
Was not a big guy. Tough.
It wasn't
nails,
a big guy.
Really fast.
Yeah, he couldn't go. He went to the middle, but he wasn't physical.
Ultimately, Pops' value is pretty much as a backup running back.
Correct.
I don't know that he is going to be your bell cow type. He's going to be your starter, somebody that you're going to lean on for the long term. That's why, like I said, he's a 7th-round pick. Again, that's not saying that you can't elevate from that, but you see what his limitations are and why he may have been a 7th-round pick.
Yeah, and he doesn't have that breakaway. I mean, his longest run was against the Jets a year and almost 2 seasons ago.
Right.
when he had that one touchdown. What did he do? Court awareness, vision. He bounced outside. He saw the gap. He was patient, and he burst through it. And he just doesn't do it enough. And it isn't that he can't do it. It isn't that he's being coached up to it. But, it's like when we talked about Marcus Allen. He just had that awareness. He had that instinct when to be patient. And Le'Veon Bell, when you just kind of knew, hey.
Well, we don't want to compare him to some of the all-time greats.
I'm not talking about their overall success.
I hear what you're saying.
I am simply talking about the fact that they could identify
that
an opportunity to gain more yards.
Yeah,
that's takes all I want Pacheco to do. I don't care if he rushes for 1,000 yards. I'd rather see him instead of give up on a 1 or 2 yard to get 4 or 5 or 6.
And it's just, and I don't know that that's really in him. A lot of that stuff that these guys you're talking about is just inherent. It's just God-given ability.
It is an instinctual thing.
And then you also have to work your ass off to be at the top of the game.
Yeah.
But I think, as far as Pops is getting the most out of everything he has.
That's why I love Devin Neal so much, because he has all those attributes.
Yeah, I think Kareem asked the question, but I don't see him really having any trade value at all. I think they would probably release him and give him an opportunity to catch on with another team before like training camp. So again, that's if they draft somebody in a premium round and they think that guy is going to be like a legitimate chance to be.
If they draft 2 running backs, he's gone. No question.
I don't think they'll take 2. I don't think they would take 2.
But again, it all starts if they, they draft, Ali Gordon. If they get Gordon for Oklahoma State,
hey, I'm fine with Gordon. Trust me.
Not in the first round.
You give me Gordon or Neal in the end of the 3rd round or the end of the 4th round, and I'm ecstatic. Right. I'm walking to Lawrence. I'm going to go give him a high five. I think there's going to be a lot of Kansas guys. I think they're going to see maybe 4 or 5 guys get drafted, but you're probably going to see about 6 or 7 undrafted free agents from the Kansas senior class. So it's going to be well represented.
Shout out Lance Leipold.
Yeah, Lance has done a they got they're in the top 5 recruiting class so far for 2025. That's just absolutely incredible to me.
It is.
That's a spot for him. But with that said, that is our top 4 guys in the bar, top 5 running back section. So with that said, guys, we got a heck of a show coming up for you guys on Wednesday. We got Lou got some stuff that is lined up for us, and we got we're gonna be breaking down another position of the group. We're getting closer to the draft, guys. Can y'all believe it? It's almost here. It's creeping up on us.
Like 2 weeks from Thursday, right?
Yeah. It's creeping up on us. Hey, it's a special time, man. It's some people's Super Bowl. Some people, they love the draft so much, man. They feed up to it.
You either love it or you hate it.
Here's the thing about the draft. You got 32 teams. Everybody's 0-0. It's like spring training, right? I mean, it's like everybody has hope. We're going to get the guy that puts us over the top. We're going to get the guys that kind of are going to be the building blocks. And then once the regular season starts and it kind of all blows up in their faces, there's a bunch of teams that are like, whatever. But for this weekend, you got to be jacked. You got to be like, this is a renewal. This is spring. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. Spring hope eternal, or hope springs eternal. But for the Giants, the Browns, and a few other teams, I don't think they're 0-0. I still think they're
for 2 or 3 days. You could be the cock of the walk because you got
the top
2 or 3 players. Come on, let's go.
See what happens.
If you're a player in this draft, man, what team would you not want? An organization that you won't go to? Because if it was me, I won't want to go to Cleveland, man. I don't like how the owner out at Deshaun Watson like that. Even though the kid is in there training in his facility and everything else, and
it depends on the money, man. But my first round guy, I go to any damn team. Shit, I want to be impact guy. I want my money. I don't give a damn about that shit.
And he trashes them, absolutely.
I want my money. Shit, I'm first round. I want my change. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, I mean, you got these dysfunctional franchises. Cleveland's a tough one, right? Because the fans are still rabid. They will still back the team. They're diehards, and it just sucks that ownership is just completely. It's just a crap show, right? So that would be the one that's like I said, I have a lot of friends that are Browns fans, and how do you watch? I mean, I go back to those days with Romeo Crennel and Todd Haley and whatever, when it was just the Chiefs were the lowest of the and you're thinking, how the hell do I keep coming back every week? But yeah, anyway, yeah, Cleveland would be the one that Cincinnati is a tough one too, because that second contract is always just
Cincinnati pay their people, man. Cincinnati pays their people, man.
What about you, Nick?
Just looking at it, I wouldn't want to go to the Browns. I wouldn't want to go to the Giants. The Saints would be 50-50 on this point. I'm not sure I want to go there either. I don't want to go to the Colts. That's for certain. I wouldn't want to go to the Dolphins right now because I think this team is a year from complete implosion, and I'm not sure that's the place that I want to go. And if you're looking for one of the more talented teams, that's kind of, I agree with the Bengals. I mean, if you're a defensive player and you're young, if they go all 7 or 8 picks defense, I think that would be the smartest thing they could possibly do. But, if I'm a really high-level talented guy and I know I'm not going to get another contract, it's going to be really difficult because they've topped in their salary cap with these 3 guys. There's nothing they can do to avoid it. But the Bears aren't on the list anymore because I think they've had a terrific offseason. I love their coaching staff. I love the fact that he surrounded himself with a bunch of veteran guys, been there, done that. I love Eric Bieniemy there as the running backs coach.
You think they go since Eric Bieniemy there? You think they probably going to take a good running back and one of them?
No, they're going to take. They're going to do everything they can to
get Ali Gordon.
To get, they don't have a first round. They don't have a first round.
Hey,
right?
Ali Gordon.
No, they have the 10th pick.
Do they have the 10th pick? Okay, my bad. If Gentry gets past the Raiders, that's where he's going to end up.
Right.
I don't think there's another running back you take at 10. I just don't see one going that high. I don't think you'll see another running back till we get into the 20s.
What about Hampton?
I don't think people are going to take Hampton that high. I think Hampton is working his way into the second round. If he gets past the Broncos at number 20, then he's going to slide into the second round.
He's going. He won't get past. I agree with you. Your first statement was that he doesn't get past Denver.
Yeah, but unless a guy falls in Denver that they really, really like more.
But you look at the offensive coordinator, comes from Detroit. He's the head coach now.
Right.
They had those 2 running backs, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yep.
You got DeAndre Swift there. Why not? I mean, I'm not saying they're going to completely recreate that same offense, but that mentality of we're going to run the ball to help out Caleb Williams and just be able to not have him straight dropping back 50 times a game. So should be interesting. I wouldn't be shocked if Genty went like 5 or 6, whatever pick somewhere in the top 10, that if the Bears we're sitting there at 10 and we're looking at Hampton, maybe they trade back a little bit.
Yeah. And they got 2 second-round picks at the top of the draft.
I certainly see them, grab a running back high.
Yeah. As far as Kareem's contention goes with Hampton, I don't really know what it is. I don't know why he's slipping. It makes no sense to me. But like I said, I mean, I've completely fallen in love with this kid.
I think it's a media thing.
Yeah. There are agents out there. Maybe he doesn't like his position in the draft. Maybe he'd rather go to a high-end team in the second round. I mean, a lot of factors playing. But for me, if he's available, or if they get Hampton and Neal, lights out. Chiefs offense is going to score over 30 points. No question about it, because they're going to be able to run the ball. And that's something they haven't done consistently enough in big situations. They've already forced Mahomes at 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. You're going to pass. And very rarely did they hand the rock off to someone. And I think that's what this offense needs. So don't be shocked if they draft more than one running back out of it.
Man, listen, guys. Hey, to go off subject real quick, man, I was watching the old Batman, Jack Nicholson. I say he's my favorite Joker. Real quick, had to throw it out there. I really watched the movie. I said Jack Nicholson kicked ass. I said, damn, he's good.
Yeah.
So real quick, I go with Jack Nicholson.
I'm a Heath Ledger guy.
Jack Nicholson, man. I said, damn, he kicked ass, man.
Keith Ledger.
Now, Keith Ledger ain't fuck with Jack, bro.
That wasn't even
from Batman. Batman, I gotta say
that was not from left field. That was from the parking lot.
I'm gonna take it a step up.
Draftable running backs.
Oh,
hey,
man.
Joker.
Hey, we lost one of the most underrated Batmans. Val Kilmer passed away last week. Val was an incredible actor. decades of material. I thought he was a terrific Batman.
No, he was definitely.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, Tombstone. His Top Gun performance when he came back in the sequel was just it was tear filling. It was a tremendous actor.
You like Top Gun? You think Top Guns are pretty good? I watched half of Top Gun. I need to watch the first one.
You got to watch them all. Watch them both. You won't be disappointed, especially if you're in a surround sound situation. It's pretty great.
I bet I will. Will do.
Yeah. You know what? But it seemed to me like he never went out of his way to take lead roles. I think Batman was one of the because only like in Heat, ensemble cast, but he played the hell out of his character. And every time, no matter what he was doing. I mean, if you go back to was it Real Genius? I mean, he was
Real Genius too. Very underrated comedy.
Everybody know who the best Joker is. He's back there on my wall right there. You see him over my
Jack Nicholson embodied that Joker character. I said, "Damn, that shit, bro."
Yeah,
but Legend was good. Legend was good, but I think Jack is the guy, man. Jack killed it.
So with that said, guys, thank you guys for joining in. We got a heck of a show coming up Wednesday. I'm Hense Todd. That is Nick Athan.
Hey, no homework for you, Coach.
He wouldn't do it anyway, so don't worry about it.
Get it done early. You might as well do it so you get off here.
What happened was
he kicking everybody's list ass, bro, but his shit wasn't even on board. I get it.
So with that said, we'll see you guys Wednesday.
All right,
Let's go.